We're rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you know what time it is. Get your laptops open, get your cell phones out, get your computers ready.
Yeah.
That was it?
Oh, yeah, that was actually the end of the scatting.
That was in the scat. All right. Welcome to another amazing episode of We Should Have Been Done This, the podcast. I am Sean Manning. That is Jason Jamerson.
Yes.
And how was your Thanksgiving?
Yes. Oh, Thanksgiving was fantastic. I ate well.
Did you work out before?
I did.
That's the only
you know, you got to do legs before you eat.
You got to.
You got to do legs.
I did a combination of everything because the gym I went to, Lifetime, was at capacity. Apparently, it was unacceptable.
Yeah, nah. Where I was at,
slides and cockatoo haircuts,
the cockatoo,
and people who didn't want to lift, just like they were just there because it was like the thing to do. That's what it seemed like. Like, hey, bro, you want to go to the gym with me? Yeah, bro. And that's what it was.
Yeah, I was at it was all cardio kings and queens, so all the iron was mine.
I see it. It was just people standing there, like people $110 just. If you don't get from in front of them,
listen,
the rack.
They at least they were there,
no,
right?
No. It's not, no, don't show up if you're not going to do anything.
You know,
and don't show up one day a year either because it doesn't do anything.
I was trying to be nice.
No, it doesn't do anything. One day a week, it doesn't do anything. One day a year, it doesn't do anything. It's irrelevant. Consistency is the key.
I be trying to tell people, at least I'm doing something.
No.
Like, you could be doing the wrong thing.
No.
So it's not at least you're doing something. Still need a plan.
Show up to work once a week, once a year, you're not getting paid. You're done.
No,
consistency.
This is true.
But you did legs.
I did legs.
Did you hit the guillotine?
Oh, you know I hit the guillotine. Got to get the hams.
Oh, yeah.
Hams.
Before you eat the yams.
Oh, hams.
Next
to the yams.
Next to the mac and cheese.
Next to mac and cheese.
And then you swapped him on up with a sweet Hawaiian or a homemade roll.
Yeah, man, listen. You already know.
What a time to be alive.
That is why, food-wise, Thanksgiving is a superior holiday.
I mean, it all depends on who's cooking, because technically that and Christmas could both be the same.
First and foremost, we don't let the non-cookers cook on Thanksgiving.
No, you can't.
Thanksgiving ain't no potluck.
No, you got to get on the pot here.
If you don't know what you're doing in that kitchen, you don't know your way around. You don't bring no experimental dishes to Thanksgiving.
I know my way around. Straight to the vittles. I just, whatever's ready, I just.
You can try stuff out in the summer holidays because you know what I'm saying. That's like, oh yeah, I brought this new parsnip and oh okay,
no raisins in the potato salad, none of that.
Oh yeah, nah,
none of the foolishness.
Yeah, man, it was good. It was good. I'm blessed to have a family that actually knows how to cook. Because there are some people that were not that fortunate. I've seen a lot of struggle plates.
I agree.
I've seen a lot of struggle plates on Thanksgiving, and people really. I mean, shout out to them for thinking it's good eating. You don't know until you know.
Right. It's true.
It's good to you because I can tell you right now, there's some food that I had growing up that I was like, oh, this is good until I had it for real from somebody who know how to make it for real. I was what were these scraps that were fed to me as a child?
Yeah.
Oh man,
kind of reminds me of that plate of loss that the Lions were handed on Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, well
I know
win some, you lose some.
No.
Win some, you lose some.
You win the games you're supposed to win. Jalen Hurts must have heard what I said last week because he came through. That's two clutch games, Kansas City and Buffalo. That's two clutch games against two good teams. The defense they have is good, but not the same. What are they? Probably a top 20-ish. Last year they were top 10.
The Eagles?
I don't think they're the same.
They got a top 5 defense.
Check the numbers.
Their running defense was the best defense
overall. Check the numbers. But again, Jalen heard what I said. He made the right throws down the stretch when necessary. So maybe that's what it is. He remembered what he had to do in the Super Bowl and he didn't. And he did it against Kansas City and he did it again. And now San Francisco up next. That's going to be the tail of the tape, especially with that defense. And you got both them, Bosa and the guy from the Red, Chase Young.
That's
but
terrible metric right there.
But let's not
Fox Sports.
But we're gonna stop talking about winners, and we're gonna get to talking about your Lions.
Yeah,
there's a reason Lions starts with L.
The division leading Lions?
That just got nothing to do with championships.
What you mean? That's how it starts. You got to get to the playoffs to win the
division by default because they playing bad teams, so they keep losing to.
No, what are you talking about?
They lost. That boy hung up 3 touchdowns on them.
He did.
Jordan loves to beat the Lions.
But did you watch the game the week before?
Jordan loves to beat the Lions. That's what he did.
He lost on the first time they played. What are you talking about?
He was a kid. He didn't know.
That was like earlier this season.
He just throwing it.
It was like game 3.
Aaron Rodgers had just left.
What are you talking about? That was when they thought the Packers was going to be good without Aaron Rodgers.
They lost against a team that they were supposed to beat.
So did the Eagles.
That was just good. We're talking about recent. You talking about old stuff.
So it doesn't matter when it happens.
The Eagles haven't lost in weeks.
So it just matters when it happens, not that it happened.
I mean, again,
because the Chiefs lost.
Chiefs lost. About the Eagles.
The Eagles lost.
We talking about the
Eagles. To my knowledge, there are no unbeaten teams. So somebody got to win, somebody got to lose.
We talking about the Eagles.
This is remarkable to me.
The Packers are a team the Lions are supposed to beat handedly. And they lost. Okay. Everybody. We said that.
Handedly?
We said handedly.
No. First of all, we said never handedly in the division game.
There you go with the division. We said
never handedly in the division.
You had them going undefeated.
I did say they were going. That didn't mean handedly.
The fact that you had them beating the Cowboys and they lost to the Packers.
Oh, they're still gonna beat the Cowboys.
You know what they did? That's what they did. They packed up.
They still gonna beat the Cowboys.
Up Detroit on the plate and sent it on.
Why can't I find the 2003 best NFL defense 2023?
2003.
Yeah, it keeps 2022 is what kept popping up.
Well, yeah, the boys took L.
That's total defense.
The Eagles are making it happen.
Passing
defense. Continuing to stride to greatness. They're on the way.
So Eagles rushing defense is number 3.
Okay, overall.
Overall, this is a terrible metric because it's based off of how many yards were put against them.
So what is it?
I mean, they still top 20, yes.
That's what I said, top 20.
That's the top 20. That's a terrible metric. How many yards were put up? Of course, they go. When you're winning, they got to throw the ball against you. And that's how do you get more yards. How do you get yards faster? Throwing it or running it?
Stats are the stats.
That's total defense.
If LT was running it, I don't know. But the stats are the stats.
Passing defense. Maybe it's their passing defense is why they're so far down there.
I tried to tell you.
Their secondary is not that great.
They were in the top 10. Now they're in the top 20.
Rushing defense is number 3. Passing defense is 29.
I tried to tell you.
The Lions got a better pass defense.
Apparently not when Jordan Love was there.
Apparently so. Lions only allowed 19 passing touchdowns. The Eagles allowed 23.
He threw 3 on them, and they beat the Lions.
He threw 3.
So what you got to say? I
barely won.
Just like how the Lions
won by a touchdown.
Just like how the Lions barely beat Kansas City, and that was without somebody.
You talking about the Super Bowl champions?
They're at the full health.
They were not at full health.
Who wasn't at full health?
The Lions weren't.
Who were they?
They didn't have Jameson Williams.
He hasn't been there.
Jameson Williams. It's the stuff you do without the ball that shows the true value. He's opening up the defense. He's taking the top off, leaving St. Brown and Laporta open in the middle. And don't act like he ain't one of the better run blocking receivers out there.
The guy that can't catch the ball.
He can catch the ball.
At
the beginning of the season, they were saying. At the beginning of the season, they said, he was just got the drops. He had just really got back into it. He hadn't played football in 2 years.
But they lost to Green Bay.
They did lose to Green Bay.
They were supposed to win.
Philadelphia. They should have won. Yes.
Philadelphia.
They should have won.
Freeway. They on the way.
Now I will say this. This is not me saying this. The reports are saying, which I hope is not the case because this is going to get the Lions in trouble. They're saying that Jared Goff might be hiding an injury, which just like
some picks.
If you saw some of the forced fumbles, he had the ball square in his hand and somebody just went. Like they reached around him and they fingertip touched the ball and knocked it out. He may have a hand. I will give you that.
Throw the boy in from Tennessee.
I will give you.
Throw the boy in from Tennessee. You better hope he's ready.
They said he practicing this week.
So better hope he's ready.
He practicing this week.
He can come in like Nick Foles did for Carson Wentz.
No, possibly.
They take it all the way.
Possibly. But yeah, no,
but that would explain going 5 or 6 games with no interceptions, and now each game multiple picks.
Well, he ain't had no picks this last game. He had fumbles.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Turnovers. So he threw 3 interceptions. Granted, the interceptions, like I said, one of them got tipped at the line of scrimmage, which, maybe he just didn't get enough air.
So another game they've lost because of Jared Goff.
Yeah, I will give you that, yes. I will give you that. Jared Goff. Because if you watch the game, it was not the defense's fault. When you have 2 turnovers in the first half, putting them in scoring range, they scored 20 points in the first quarter, but then they only scored 26 points, or 20, was it 29?
29, I believe.
They scored 29 altogether.
So
they only scored 9 points the rest of the game.
It wasn't on the defense.
So it was not, I wouldn't put it on the defense, because them 2 turnovers to start the game put the Packers, who apparently came in with a chip on their shoulder.
They came in and brought lunch and packed it for the Lions. Sent them on the way. Yams, dressing, little turkey. They had a Hawaiian roll. They packed them a good lunch. And
what I think it is, I think the Lions got a little arrogant because they had beaten the Packers. The Packers had not beaten them in the last 2 years.
The embodiment of blue collar is there is no time for arrogance.
I'm not talking about the coaching. The players probably felt whether, we own them now. We beat them. They beat them for the last
one.
They beat them.
That's a Michigan problem. You beat Michigan State. You beat the Packers. You beat Minnesota. You beat Ohio State. But you lose when it matters most.
I mean, listen.
Tighten it up.
You got to win. You got to win those to get to the big one.
Right, but
in some instances, you
put your hat on. You lace your boots up. You come in.
Well, listen. Like I said, they haven't lost a division game since. Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, and just like how Michigan hasn't lost to Ohio State in 2 or 3 years, but they lose when it matters most.
Well, in college football,
finish it.
In Michigan's defense, college football is different. I don't follow it as much, but they just were the worst team last year, and this year they don't even got their coach on the sideline and they're winning. So
finish it.
Listen. There's still plenty of games to go.
Finish it.
It's crazy that people are pressing the panic button.
No.
At 8-3,
I've been the same way. You got to beat. You got to beat who you're supposed to beat.
3 games.
You got to beat who you're supposed to beat. But that's the problem. That's the problem. You go to New England. Well, not this.
I'm about to say, let's not go to New England.
But you go to old New England, that's almost an unacceptable record. You have to raise the level of expectation.
New England struggled against the Jets a lot of times.
And
the Jets were not that great either.
The deal. That was a division game. But they sealed the
deal. A division game, like I just said.
So moving on to
So
moving on to basketball. Moving on to basketball.
Like I just said, the division game.
So you said you had watched the Lakers the other day.
Hypocritical. Yes, I did watch them get blown out by 44.
They did get blown out. Since the departure, or the exodus forced by James Harden, that team seems to be flourishing. Young Maxey has had a couple 30-point games since he's been gone. Meanwhile, the Clippers have been getting clipped left and right. It is a tough time in Los Angeles County right now.
So I'll say this when it comes to the Clippers. They got too many people who need the ball in their hands at one time.
We said it. Either get rid of Russ or get rid of Technically, you got to get rid of James.
Technically, Russ said, I'll come off the bench. So he's willing to do that.
And neither one of them won but Kawhi. He won twice. Get them all out of there.
Listen, you already know how I feel about Paul George.
Get him out of there.
You know, and Surround them with winners. Somebody had the nerve on Facebook to say that Paul George, low-key, has a better career than Tracy McGrady. And I say to thee,
Tracy McGrady has led a team technically deep into the playoffs on multiple occasions with Houston, and they injured Yao, and then with Orlando. Paul lost. Now, he performed offensively well, but defensively, once LeBron said the time is now, that was it for young Paul. And
Paul George is.
Then you got the Dame shot.
And in my book, Paul George is never, and I mean never, going to be that guy. PG will never be TG.
Getting older, he's not getting any younger. And if he's already playing behind Kawhi, that would probably lean towards the truth, because they're all, on the, they've hit the apex and now they're slowly coming down.
And
so
even people who, like the year he was considered as an MVP candidate, I was like, just watch.
He was nice.
Just keep watching. And what happened?
That's how you should.
What did he do?
That's how you should feel about your Lions.
And what did he do?
That's how you should feel about your Lions.
Not at all. Not at all. See, this is what I love.
Don't believe.
This is what I love about the Lions now.
Oh.
This is what I love about the Lions right now.
Okay.
So, and I've heard some of the other talking heads, some of our cohorts in the media.
There you go. There you go.
I've heard them talk about, the Lions and their expectations this year off of, how they, played at the end of last year. And they were like, oh, their defense is only considered good based off of what they did last year. No, their defense is considered good because they're top 5 in running defense. Yeah. As far as yards go. It's like it's the narratives people are putting.
But you just said
running. But then running. I mean, overall they're top 20 defense as well. Overall,
need to be top 5.
I mean, of course, the biggest thing is, which is still amazing to me,
that
they technically can put pressure on the quarterback because they're top 5, top 10 in putting pressures on the quarterback, but they're like bottom 3 on actually sacking the quarterback. So it's like they get to him, they bother him, they rattle him, but if somebody's open, he gonna find them. They can't take him down. Like they can't finish at the quarterback. But the expectations that were put on the Lions, like I don't know. Last year they missed the playoffs.
They did.
They won what 7 games, 8 games
down the stretch in a row. Whatever. Yeah.
And all of a sudden this offseason, somehow, some way, everybody's talking. Which us people in Detroit, us Detroit fans been saying it all the time. Some of us really believed it. Some of us were just saying it because just in case we were right, we wouldn't be able to say it. Right. All of a sudden, we're Super Bowl candidates. It's like, what happened in this offseason? They could be the team. But see, here's the thing. Where did this expectation come from all of a sudden?
That's what's supposed to happen.
It's the same team.
Well, if they were...
With the exception of the Cam Sutton, Gardner Johnson, and Emmanuel Mosley, for the most part, and a few rookies, it's the same team. And the rookies, when they drafted them, they was on their head. The mainstream media was talking about how the Lions had one of the worst drafts in this year.
But a lot of them, they don't know anything. But the people who knew was Riddick.
He knew because the Lions had this is where you don't draft best player, you draft what you're planning to put together. So
putting the puzzle pieces together.
So now all of a sudden, and of course here in Detroit, we want them to win because we watched them lose so much. So when they good, we are going to put them at a much higher pedestal.
Detroit been in a drought for a little while.
For a very long time. So we put them on a pedestal when they start doing good.
Yeah.
However, the fact that all of a sudden they supposed to win every game, like I believe they'll win every game just because of, just looking at the matchups and stuff. But the expectation from everybody else, like, oh, they're the Lions should win this game, the Lions should win this game. But then as soon as they lose, like even if you watch the games, they'll talk about the other team more than they'll talk about the Lions. They were beating the Bears, or when they were playing the Bears, even when they were winning, they're talking, oh, Justin Fields this, Justin Fields that, he's doing this. Like, they lost after the game, showing all Justin Fields highlights.
Yeah.
Why are you showing him his highlights on a loss? Like, you know what I'm saying?
This is the local media, or this is
the mainstream, the mainstream media.
Our cohorts.
Yeah, our cohorts. So it's like they all of a sudden there's this expectation that they put on them out of nowhere, but at the same time they big up everybody else that they play against.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like even when they played the Packers on Thanksgiving, it's like, they should be the Packers. But all they talk about, well, Jordan Love is hot. This. The Packers defense, which was all true, but it's like, where is this? Y'all talking about the Lions supposed to win? Are y'all just talking about the Packers because y'all need something to talk about, or do y'all really y'all just really trying to be like, you know what? Let's talk about Detroit just so we can talk about Detroit. Well, really,
because at the back of everybody's mind, they're like, still, you don't know. But speaking of, getting hands put to you and taking an L, did you hear about T.I. and his son?
I heard about it. I didn't watch the video or anything like that.
Yeah, I guess it was a hip hop.
Oh yeah, the Falcons game where Ludacris came down from the roof.
Yeah, and apparently
like Sting,
young whatever the child's name is, got a little lippy, and there was a couple of back and forths, and apparently the rubber band man came out. It wasn't Clifford.
He was wild as a Taliban.
Yeah, it wasn't Clifford. Clifford Harris, the comedian. He ran into the rubber band man. Now,
it's a trouble man.
Makes me ask you: have you ever felt yourself enough to poke your chest out at your old man?
Absolutely not. That old man got old. Not even to this day. He still got the old man strength. So it's like, and he don't. He fights too unorthodox. Like even when we play around, it's too unorthodox. He can't. he don't never just like you try to square up. He just it's just like, what are you doing? Like you try to, and then he, you know, you play fighting, you can't hit nobody in the face or anything like that. He's just gonna eat them boys to the chest. He got this big old meaty chest of his. Yeah. He's just gonna eat them boys and just keep coming. And it's almost like when you do the move with Zane Geef and hit the strong punch, and he run and you like hit him and he still just eat it and just keep coming through and then grab you. And once he grabs you, he's a grappler. He's not a striker. So he's not gonna try to throw the ones and twos. Yeah. Once he grabs you, that's it. Once he gets you, you got. It's like a python. Absolutely. Constricted. Absolutely. That's it. That's it. Once he gets you, that's it. So yeah, up until recently, I wasn't really this guy anyways, you know. So I was all small and lanky, skinny, lanky,
and I have not either. Not out of fear. I just never was ever, feeling myself to the point to where, that was something that I felt needed to be done. Yeah, but I think it was more so about like him wanting to be street and not having to be, and they were trying to figure out why. Like you grew up, you grew up rich. Like what's the problem?
I don't know. Yeah,
these
rich kids,
everybody want to be tough.
Everybody
want to be tough until somebody starts shooting.
Yeah, Method Man said it best. Too many want to be hard. Be easy.
Hey, why not be easy? Be easy. Because if you grew up hard, you'd understand the bliss in just being easy. Being easy. That's all you got.
Like Sunday morning.
Just like that.
Easy like Sunday morning.
Just like that. What did you think of the Marvels?
Marvels was good. The Marvels, I liked the Marvels. It was good. It was much better than I thought it would be.
Everybody did kind of drag it. They kind of
drag
it down for no reason.
I went before it even came out. People was talking about it. Only reason I went, really, two reasons. One, I see all the movies just because
you got to.
I gotta stay in the loop.
You still have to go no matter when. That's what I try to tell everybody.
Yeah,
it's like a $5, $4 matinee these days. Yeah. You get popcorn, don't get popcorn.
You're gonna find something you enjoy in the movie.
You got to.
Like, even if it's just like the visual effects and everything. So yeah, I went. My daughter really wanted to see it because apparently Captain Marvel is one of her favorites.
Which one?
After this movie, what did she say? I think she said, come on. I think she went from darkest to lightest. That's the spectrum. Her favorite was Photon or whatever.
Monica Rambeau.
Monica Rambeau is her favorite. Then Kamala Khan.
This is now present day.
Present day.
Shout out to the movie.
And then
shout out to
Carol Danvers is number 3 on her list.
Shout out to the movie. And that's the thing. You gotta that's why you just go.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Especially
it was action from beginning to end.
It was.
And like the way they did those fight sequences with them having to keep disappearing and stuff,
I enjoyed it.
It was a good movie. It wasn't the best Marvel movie, but it was better than Wakanda Forever.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. And then just briefly, if they do choose to do that, how did they then use this child who's supposed to be T'Challa? Everybody else is at least 14, 15, and this child is 8. But we're not even gonna touch that. But speaking of Black Panthers, we will segue back on to football, and that
we all over the place.
We're all over the place.
We just hopscotching.
We're off the rails.
They have off the rails.
Fired the Carolina Panthers have fired their head coach after
Frank Reich
after 11 games, and he was fired last year by the Colts as well.
Yeah,
is that too soon, or do you think because of the somewhat success of Anthony Richardson before he was hurt, but then the obvious success of C.J. Stroud, do you think the owners over there at Carolina are looking at him like that, or does Frank just not have it?
I think they fired him too soon, personally. One, you got a rookie quarterback. If you have a rookie quarterback, you at least need a good running back to complement him.
Correct.
Anthony Richardson had eventually had Jonathan Taylor, but even though he didn't play,
but it seems a bad line. It seems because he was running a lot.
Richardson.
It seems the Colts don't have the greatest
running.
Line. He was
by choice.
He was taking off quick.
He was taking off by choice.
And then
so he had happy feet.
And then Carolina's line is bad as well.
Carolina is a bad team overall.
So you can't have a bad line. If you got a bad line, you're not going to have success in the running.
I think they fired the wrong person. They should have fired the GM
Because he the one picked everybody to be there the first place.
Exactly. So he got the rookie quarterback. He did his big splash free agent signings to help him out. Adam Thielen and DJ Chark. He had Miles Sanders, who really is like not that guy. Chuba Hubbard. Like, if you look at that offense, what tells you that this is about to be a contender?
Now that you mentioned the Miles Sanders thing, he did have Kelsey in front of him last year. So he had that making him look. Mm-hmm. And now he gets where there is.
Not only Kelsey, but he also had
good O-line.
A good O-line. They had the quarterback took him to the Super Bowl, and he had A.J. Brown still. Like, it was a more balanced offense.
Young Devontae. The other running back they had, Goddard. Yeah, as you said,
the tight end Goddard.
Yeah, and then, very balanced.
Yeah, it was a balanced offense.
You go with Carolina.
You go first-year quarterback, first-year coach.
Yeah.
A team of veterans, no good running back.
No relationship with the quarterback.
No relationship with the quarterback. Then on defense, you got Brian Burns, I can't remember the corner's name. Corner is pretty good. And then after that, it's just everybody else. So it's like, you have a bad team overall.
Yeah.
And you expect him to compete first year?
And he just got there.
He just got there. Now, granted, they probably should have brought somebody in to do a better job of helping develop Bryce Young.
For sure.
But other than that, I'm like y'all fired the wrong person and you fired him too fast.
That they did.
If they're gonna fire anybody, fire the person who brought everybody in.
Yeah, you gotta see it through.
You got
in 11 games. You gotta build a rapport with the receivers. Mm-hmm. The running back. You gotta get this line together.
Yep.
But I guess they figured he was losing in Indianapolis, losing here. You're out of here.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he may just not be that guy. It may be him, but at the same time,
one of them Jeff Fisher situations.
Yeah, like the situation he was in just was not favorable for him to be able to succeed. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the Texans got DeMeco Ryans as coach, who is he's a legend over there.
Yeah.
So just the team wants to play for him in the first place.
They do.
Defense isn't terrible.
No, it's not.
And they got a rookie quarterback and a rookie receiver to, kind of create that rapport out the gate. Yeah. Like, hey, let's go. Let's play around a little bit.
They have Dalton Schultz.
And they got good old Dalton, Dirty Dalton.
They got the Schultz.
They got Dirty Dalton.
I almost forgot. We did not mention the hottest team in the NFL, the Denver Broncos.
This guy.
They're rolling.
They're going to lose their next game.
They're rolling. And if they don't, you already owe me some push-ups.
So I do owe you some push-ups.
If they don't,
I mean,
if they do, I'm sorry. Well, yeah.
If they do, who they playing again?
Yeah, please, because
I feel
at
like
some point Russell's going to wake up.
Russell's not going to wake up.
Russell wakes up.
Russell has become
Russell,
the best
rookie year Russell
game manager.
That's easy now.
The best game manager.
Game managers have won Super Bowls.
Have they?
Yes. Baltimore. Trent Dilfer, game manager. Super Bowl winner. Tampa Bay, Brad Johnson. Even though Brad did throw some touchdowns, that defense.
You know what?
Took them all away. Huh? Mm-hmm. Look at the numbers.
No. I'm looking at their schedule. All of the next three games are very losable for them. Mm-hmm. But this next game coming up, I might actually want to watch this one.
Who's it?
The Texans.
Oh, no. I can't go against the kid.
Broncos, Texans.
I can't go against the kid.
The game after that, I'll tell you this much. The game after that is the Chargers and the Broncos. If the Chargers lose against the Broncos, their head coach is getting fired.
Listen, the Broncos are out of sync with the league. It's Sean Payton. He's a mastermind.
The Chargers, though, have, for whatever reason.
Oh, yeah, no, that man been on the hook for about a year or two.
And if he can't get them to start winning, because they
got the talent.
They're going to waste Justin Herbert.
And they're going to waste Eckler. Keenan Allen is just waiting to be just one time.
Just one.
Just let me get.
He needs now in the offense's defense. They had Keenan Allen, and then the second and I want to say number 2 and number 3 receiver both got hurt.
That's the big black guy.
Mike Williams, and then
talented guy.
I can't remember the other guy's name, but those two got hurt. So it's just it is literally Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler when he lines up at running back or at wide receiver.
Sometimes that's all you need.
That is literally their offense. But you'll give maybe one touchdown from Parham or Gerald Everett. Other than that, it is literally just like all the yardage comes from them too.
Yeah.
So in their defense, yeah, that's once again an unfavorable situation. But that's where, I mean, there's plenty of free agents. They could have got Julio before the Eagles did.
Okay, they could have, but then he
Herbert would have.
That's San Diego weather.
That's San Diegans. Them San Diegans.
You know what? That's not bad.
Julio need a little sun. LA now though, but
why would you leave San Diego?
Well,
you got La Jolla. You got the Seals coming up.
Maybe that's why.
Because the Seals is coming up.
Because of the Seals, too much. They're blocking traffic.
Okay. Have you ever been to the Cove in La Jolla? You didn't go.
You know, I did not go.
That's all the things you're supposed to do.
I went on a Navy base.
On a Navy base. You should have went to the Cove.
It was a Navy ship.
You didn't go to the Cove.
I saw the triple guns.
No. Okay.
Well, my man told me, he was like, that gun right there, that's taking a whole city out.
Wow. I probably shouldn't be celebrating that genocide like that. He probably shouldn't have said that with such pride.
You know, he was like, that's the one, that one right there, that's the boy right there. If that one has to go out.
What was the city?
So what?
Did he tell you what city it was?
No, he's saying what it can do, not what it did do.
Oh, okay.
But he was saying, like, you know, he said this one we got like the regular, this is the one that got the jammers on it and everything. But he was like, that one over there, that's the one that got all the, he said that gun right there in the front? I was like, yeah. He's like, they shoot that one, that whole city is toast.
Wow. San Diego, artillery aside, is a
maybe that's why they left too.
Is a phenomenal place.
Well, you know,
expensive, but a phenomenal place.
Listen, I ain't got nothing but love. I won that comedy contest there. You know what I'm saying? I'm the king of San Diego now.
Speaking of comedy contest, you performed at a swingers convention. You know,
it was not a swingers convention.
So how was that?
It was not a swingers convention.
How was performing at a swingers convention? How did you do?
I was trying not to bring that up for brand purposes. Thank you very much.
You got to perform.
I got to perform. They nobody need to know.
Playboy Mansion, Home Depot parking lot, swingers convention.
Ain't nobody need to know I was there.
Madison Square Garden. Listen, man, you just go to where you book.
I had to sign the NDA. So,
okay. You go to where you book.
No, I mean,
but how was your weekend of comedy?
It was cool. It was cool. It was in Indianapolis. Well, 2 shows in Indianapolis, 1 show in Fort Wayne. The Indianapolis show, the 2 Indianapolis shows. Yes, one of them was what they call a lifestyle bar. That's what they call it.
I apologize.
They call it a lifestyle, and I'm not about that lifestyle. So when I walked in there, I was like, let me tell my jokes and leave, because I ain't got no business being in here. And there was quite a few people who were trying to make it their business to get me to stay there. And
we were there. As long as you leave before things get sticky.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Well, apparently they was already sticky before I got there. Oh, wow. The lady tried to shake my hand, or went to shake my hand, and right when I was about to shake her hand, she was like, you know what? My hand's not clean. Never mind. I was like, you know what? I'm not touching any. I didn't want to touch the microphone.
That's what. No. It does have a shape.
But I didn't want to touch nothing. And then, you know, all the other comedians were just buying into the whole experience. Like, oh, I'm going to take my shirt off when I perform. I'm like, I am keeping my jacket all the way on. Because I don't want to put it down on anything. And you know, I
saw those hands.
Listen, I didn't sit down. I stood in the middle of the hallway just like this till it was my turn. And if they didn't have if they had a microphone stand, I would have never touched the microphone. I would have just stood there like this, like I was at a spelling bee or something like that, like telling my jokes, like Jack, and just call it a day.
That's good.
Would not have seen me touch a thing. And then as soon as I got on stage, I wanted to wait till the last comedian was done because he was pretty funny, but I was getting approached too much, and I was like, yeah, I'm out of here.
But all that aside, another successful weekend.
Yeah, you know, that was cool.
And jokes.
And then the show I did in Fort Wayne, because it was at an actual comedy club. It was the Fort Wayne Comedy Club.
Awesome.
And because you know, the weekends of a holiday is a toss up. It's either everybody's coming because they're still in town for the holiday, or nobody is coming because they're still in town for the holiday, trying to spend time with their family and everything. This was one of those shows where not a lot of people showed up. It was like maybe 11 people in the audience. But you know me. I don't care if it's 1 or 1,000. You're getting the same show. You're gonna enjoy yourself. You paid your money, so you're gonna have a good time. And so, just based off of that, they ended up.
Who you talking to?
Talking to the people.
Oh, I forgot they were there.
Yeah, I was talking to the people.
All right.
But yeah, no, just based off of that, he was like, "Man, I need to bring you back when there's more people here."
There you go.
He said, "I got 2 other shows. One's in Bluffton, Indiana.
Where?
Bluffton.
Where?
Bluffton. Rubber dub dub. It's Bluffton is right there. So like the hotel that I was staying at was like 20, 25 minutes away from the comedy club. And when I got back to the hotel, I looked up where Bluffton was. It was like 30 minutes away from the hotel.
So it's not all Detroit comedy houses and Madison Square Gardens. There are times where you're going to Bluffton
absolutely.
to do a show.
Like you just said, I go where I'm booked. But I am at the point now where, starting 2024, I'm going where I'm booked, and I don't want to say use it as a credit, but at the same time, it's like, it has to start making sense. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like, it has to start making sense because
you pay your dues, your 10,000 hours.
I've been doing comedy for 10 years now, minus the pandemic year.
So you figure at minimum in that 10 years you've done 100 hours a year of comedy. We're saying at minimum.
That would imply, yeah. The first year I started comedy, I got hurt. Like I sprained my ankle. I was in a cast, so I wasn't doing a lot of comedy that year. But ultimately, like when I was hosting that show with Snookers for 2-3 years, I was doing at least, the show ended up being like 2 hours long. If there wasn't nobody else there, sometimes it's just me and the headliner, and we just making that show work. So yeah, I put in time, and then the fact that I'm starting to get booked at comedy clubs as a headliner.
Yeah,
it's like, all right. Sometimes it's just the perception. It's like, all right, is he a headliner or is he doing swingers clubs? You know what I'm saying?
Lifestyle
bars.
Yeah, lifestyle. There we go.
So, so it's like at some point I gotta draw that line in the sand.
For sure.
And be like, listen, I'm headlining comedy clubs now. At worst, I'll be a feature at a comedy club. For sure. But if I'm, not saying that those other shows are unprofessional or anything like that. If I want to treat this as a career and a profession, I got to, those aren't places I'm sending emails to ask if I can get booked at. You know what I'm saying? I'm not asking, hey, I heard you guys have a show at this brewery. Do you mind if I come and do those? I'm not sending an email to do a show there. I'll show up to those shows.
Of course.
They reach out to me and I ain't got nothing else to do. I don't say it like that, but if they reach out to me and I'm open that date, you know what I'm saying? Then
you've already stepped in it now.
I'm not. I ain't got nothing else to do. Like I'm bored. Like, you know what? Yeah, I'll come down there.
You've already stepped in it.
So, because the other thing is, I'm at this point, starting next year, I'm big on performance agreements. I don't care where I'm at. I don't care if you have a budget or not. I'm sending you my performance agreement. I'll alter it to whatever your budget say.
They're gonna have to pick the red Skittles out, or
no, I don't do Skittles. I do Starburst.
They got to pick it. So just all red.
All red Starburst.
Red and pink.
The all red pack.
Is it in the agreement though?
It's going to be.
Okay, because you got that in there.
It was a singer I used to know, and they told me that they couldn't stand the taste of those ginger candies to help get their voice ready. Yeah. But then they was like, you get the Starburst. It has the same effect as ginger candy. So I was like, you know what? So I started doing that. I'm like, as long as I have some water too, so it don't get that sugary thickness. So performance agreements, regardless where I'm at, wherever I'm going, I'm sending them my agreement. It has to be signed, and if it's a show that uses, all right, this is just how the show is. Yeah. Because this is the other thing, I've been big on whatever I agree to is what I'm going to do.
For sure.
There's a lot of people who they'll agree to a show, and then like, oh yeah, you're only getting paid $50, but they agreed to the $50 before they got there. Yeah. Then they get there and they're like, oh yeah, they're only getting a $50 show. Like, why would you do that?
Show.
You still got to do what you came to do,
and you never know who's watching.
Exactly, you're only gonna be hurting yourself by going up there and kind of bull crapping around. So if you agree to do the show to the best of your ability. You don't want to. The other thing is, I'm not about to waste my time to drive out there and not enjoy myself.
Can't.
So I'm gonna at least do something I enjoy. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
You're right. Yeah. Not yeah. No. Yeah. You're getting better.
Speaking of that, I've come to the conclusion.
You gonna point out some of my flaws? Okay, I'm ready.
No, not at all.
Hold on, I'm ready.
Well, I mean, technically, it kind of is.
I'm ready.
Okay. It's a Detroit thing.
Oh.
And you're not from here. You're not from here.
I'm from Inkster.
Right. Yeah, you from about
easy.
You ain't from the city. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You ain't from
the city of Inkster.
The city, no, that's not the city.
It is if you're from Inkster.
That's a township.
Okay, it's the city.
It's a township.
Okay. Well, I tell you, you city folk. You think it better than everybody. Somebody from out the city had to come and save you.
You said who?
Somebody from out the city had to come and save you.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Dan Gilbert had to do. I don't know where he's from, but he's not from the city.
No,
he's from a township. He had to come and save you.
He ain't save us.
Because everybody from the city has played. You know what? You never know who's watching.
You heard it here first. Sean hates Detroit. Sean hates Detroit. He despises it.
You never know who's watching. You never know who's watching. But thank you for watching.
Sean can't stand
See how it was led right into that? See how it led into that? But thank you for watching. I am Sean Manning. Jason Jameson.
Detroit hater.
See you next time.
Detroit hater.
I do not.